Hello and welcome, denizens of the multiverse. Welcome to Talking is a Free Action. Now, do not adjust your streams, for I am, well, as established, I used to be, the Question Lord, but now they've called me the Poppet, and I deal with that. I work around it. No, this is Talking is a Free Action, and as I said, over the course of an hour, I have borrowed a denizen of the Roll Together universe, brought them here into my Labyrinth of lore to ask them some devious questions, maybe set a few traps that, knowing my luck, people will just teleport across. But I'm not bitter. It's all about gathering information. It's all good. And today's lucky contestant is, it's Prosp'rus, seen here. Hello, P. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How about you?
You're the first person who's asked how I'm doing. I'm sad, but I'm excited. Also, I realize, Prosp'rus, I probably shouldn't do this while you're taking a drink. I have a puppet. It's my wife. Her name is the Tempest. Yes,
Not
you keep it together.
at all.
Absolutely not. In a previous episode, I was asked, why did we hurt you? And I said, I don't know, but I've always got a friend here on my left hand. Yes, before we actually get into the adventures, you might be aware that, Prosp'rus is an incredibly capable sort. They do have a being, a higher denizen, who is known as M, who lives off in the real world, or as my associates call it, the real world, because they can't say words goodly. So, if everything gets a little bit complicated, or if P gets bored, to be completely honest, they can simply say, talking is a free action, and then I get to talk to M, and that will be delightful. Actually, before we fully kick off, we do have a few other people who I show my gratitude to. We have Hero Forge, Ultra Pro, Phoenix Dice, Alchemy RPG, and we are supported by Ardru Champions, Warriors of Waterdeep, Neverwinter, Elderwood Academy, and D&D Beyond. Alchemy RPG does all the lovely stuff here. How could I forget the D20 Club? So delightful. They ask us questions, and they have a wiki. Most of it is about... They ask us questions. I don't answer them. I don't have to. It's not the wiki is very useful for information, also for finding out what does and does not have an anus. It's bizarre what the audience gets excited over.
Does the puppet have an anus?
Okay, I guess. I'm just going to put it down because, ow, she's biting. Yes, so if you can't join us live, you might be aware that we are on podcasts, although you are going to miss most of the visual humour that we're doing here. If you look for Roll Together RPG on most podcasts, we'll be there. If we're not, let us know. And if you search on social media under Roll Together RPG, we should be there. Not TikTok. We don't do the TikTok dances yet. So, P, if I might be so bold, welcome to the Labyrinth of Lore. Over the next 55 minutes, you'll be basically going through different rooms, solving puzzles, questions. It's all good fun. As you know, talking is a free action if it all gets a little bit complicated. Also, I have scooped you out of your timeline, and once you're done here, nothing that happened will matter, and you'll just be popped back into wherever you came from. I don't assume you know where you came from in the timeline. Maybe just before the beginning of a big adventure. Maybe you're sitting by an egg. Just
entirely possibly.
Never discount the possibility that you are just sitting by an egg. So, I realise that I am asking, but you probably do, but you don't happen to have some dice by you, do you?
My entire house is dice.
If you could just open the drawer, the dice drawer. Could you get a D100?
Has the dice, yeah.
Oh.
These are special Roll Together dice.
Oh my goodness, oh my gracious.
I got a 67, which is disappointing in that it's not a 69.
It's nice, but it's not as nice as it could be. So, P, as we said, welcome to the Labyrinth. In front of you is a large wooden door. Above it, written in a language you do not speak, are some weird runes. But we're not going to worry about that. Would you enter the Labyrinth?
I mean, that's why we came here, so yes.
P, I'm perfectly happy just to sit here for 55 minutes. I don't care about the timekeeping badge. I could just sit here. We've got many things we could talk about.
It could be the shortest talk together that's ever happened, where we just don't go inside.
Absolutely.
Done. Finished.
I did. Thank you to our sponsors.
Slight diversion. I was actually in a campaign once where the DM set up this like really creepy windmill, and all the characters were like, "We're just not going in there." I never went in.
It sounds horrible. It sounds the worst. No. Yeah, makes perfect sense. You're like, I'm not going to do that.
Sorry, yes, I would go in.
The labyrinth?
Yeah. I'm not going to do that to you, Tom.
Thank you. Also, we're getting kind of the characters mixed up. We're never fully in character with this, are we? Oh, yes, the two most serious members of this company here. We're taking this all very, very seriously. This is very, very serious stuff.
This is just like being in Red Dwarf. You're not going to shoot lasers out of its eyes now, are you?
Kobolds, do it. Make it so. So you do, in fact, enter through the large wooden doors. As you begin walking along traditional stone corridor, there's candelabras. Someone's lit these candles.
Candelabras? In a stone corridor in a dungeon? Not like candles on the wall, like candelabras?
Yes.
Wow, that's intense.
I know, Stagnacious Corel tried to steal my candelabras. Also, interestingly, tried to steal a chair. But I will get, as I said, one day he will be gifted a gift of a lovely chair. Maybe you will be. Let's see what's behind this door. As the door slowly creaks open, you enter into a room, and my God, there's a chair. Okay. Literally, there's a traditional wooden chair. It has a small red cushion, wooden arms. It's just sitting in the middle of the room. What do you want to do, P?
Does it look sturdy enough that I could sit on it?
Oh, I mean, would you like to make a perception check?
No, if I can't figure out at first glance, I'm just going to sit on it, and if I end up on the floor, that's...
I prefer that. Yes. No. How are you sitting down with it? Are you putting some weight, or are you just sort of crushing? I assume you're in plate mail. You're in your full garb.
It's mithril mail, so it's not that heavy actually.
Oh, okay.
I'll just sit on the chair. It's a chair. They probably just want me to wait for someone.
Like in great video. I was going to say, like in a video game, you sit down in the chair and the camera sort of like pulls out and then starts sort of like rotating, and everyone's like, "Ooh, is there going to be an achievement for sitting in the chair for 5 minutes?" P, how long are you going to sit in this rather comfortable chair?
Well, I mean, presumably there's a reason the chair is here, so we'll just wait.
Sure. Again, like in a video game, there's like a weight bar that comes up and you scroll. How many hours do you want to scroll us along?
I mean, there's nothing else here to do. We'll just wait. Maybe give a prayer to Shantae. Just sit here. It's quite nice being able to sit down. Don't often get like uninterrupted sitting down time.
I'll go so far as to say you've just had a long rest. You sit there. I assume, as I said, a prayer to Shantae. Is it that you throw the seeds up? You don't consume. Consume the seeds.
No, I do. I usually eat them.
Okay, so you now just.
I'm having a snack on this chair. It's great. This is like the dream. It's like being on holiday.
As you enjoy your hobs, just sitting on a. What type of seeds are they?
Sunflower seeds.
Perfect. Very healthy. You just enjoy a nice little snack of sunflower seeds.
Probably not in the quantity that Prosp'rus eats them in.
The Poppet sort of like just appears next to you. It's like, I could get you more sunflower seeds if this is what you want to do. If you just...
Is this what we're doing? I assumed I was waiting here for you. You're here now, so...
Oh, I am here. I'm going to be honest, P. Most people get confused by the chair and try and attack it, but it's a good quality chair. This is actually, I think, as I mentioned, this is the one that Stagnatius tried to steal. I got it back, though, but...
Do you want me to do... I mean, I can do something to the chair if you'd like.
I'd rather you didn't. As I said, as you realise, having sit here for last, how long? 2.5 hours. It's... which I've turned into a long rest. No, it's... You've passed my chair test. You might as well move on to the next room then. As you turn around, there is another typical-looking wooden door. You know, got a handle.
Open the door?
How do you open the door?
With the handle? Like a sensible person?
Oh, hark at the sensible paladin. Not so sensible as your hand touches the handle and it just goes, That's right, the door's a mimic.
Oh, fine.
Oh, fine indeed. The door's eyes appear in the door and this lolling tongue comes out. As those of you have realised, Stagnatius did steal the chair from this mimic last time, and it's not giving it up this time. You're gonna have to fight this mimic. Or if you've got another way to get past the door, then by all means, how are you dealing? Are you just gonna fight this mimic?
I'm gonna kill the door, yeah.
Rude, but fair. I can't argue. Roll an attack?
I'll offer it the opportunity to leave if it wants to, but, you know...
Interesting. Hey, Pete, are you good at persuasion?
Oh, yeah.
We roll a persuasion check.
30?
What are you offering this door?
Well, I'm not going to take the chair, so it can stay here with its chair.
The door.
Or I can kill it if it would prefer. It really doesn't seem like a win-win solution for either of us.
You see the door squinting. There's a contemplation.
Can have some sunflower seeds if it wants.
Do you just hold them out in your hand like you're feeding a horse?
Yeah.
In your hand, you just hold it, and the tongue just scoops it up, puts it in the mouth. There's a crunch, 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 crunch. And the door just slowly swings open. Congratulations. You beat both the door and the chair.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Mimic.
The mimic kind of... I don't know how it acknowledges it has been actually quite pleasant. It's also, like, you got to sit there for a good couple of hours. The door just got to hang out, you know, pardon the pun, you know. It's been fine. It's probably been one of the better days for this door. I'm finding it hilarious that everyone just ends up in the door in the mimic trap. Someone's going to cotton on eventually, but not today. Congratulations, P. Yes, you managed to befriend a mimic and give it snacks. Delightful, absolutely delightful. If you could you roll another D100?
Yes. You're going to think I'm joking. I'm not. I rolled a 69.
Might I have a nice in the chat? Okay, you are, as I said, you're carrying on down this corridor. And again, it's another unassuming wooden door. I wouldn't play double mimics on you. You're going to open the door?
You might do, but it worked quite well last time. So, you know, if you do, it's fine. But I'll open the door.
You open the door. Ahead of you is a poorly lit corridor. Someone's put out most of these candelabras. Actually, could you just make a quick perception check?
Yes, I would have to look up what my perception is. Oh, no, you're on the wrong screen.
Oh no.
Perception. That would be a 21.
Absolutely perfect. Well, I can tell you, you see, even though it's dark, you can see the floor is uneven, and the walls, they're bizarre. They're not the sort of the interesting cut. They're slightly cuboid. You start, and sort of like as you sort of step back and your hand brushes against the wall, it's gross. It's slimy. I might be so bold as to say moist. And
this is the punishment for rolling a 69.
It is. Would I say that we decided to make the most disgusting one the 69? How very dare you? And speaking of, sort of, as you hear that, you start 69 room, you hear slurping.
Gross.
Almost gelatinous slurping coming from down the corridor. Something is slurping and squishing its way towards you.
Probably a gelatinous cube.
Oh,
shall we kill it?
Would you think it is? Okay. As it comes around, and my goodness, it's full of chairs. This is where all the other chairs have ended up. That's the only chair we've got in the entire dungeon. Yes, you're quite right. That is in fact a gelatinous cube. Would you? And you can see through it.
Does it completely fill the corridor? Is it one of those the gelatinous cube fills the corridor?
Afraid so. Yeah, that you can kind of see on the other side, like you're looking through jelly. The door's on the other side, and it's going to be slowly advancing.
How big is the gelatinous cube?
20 foot by 20 foot.
Right. What I'm going to try and do, Tom, is cut a hole in the gelatinous cube that I can walk through.
I like it. Okay, would you like to roll an attack?
23.
You swing into the gelatinous cube.
I don't think I can miss a gelatinous cube unless I roll a 1, because their AC is really shit because they're so big.
And to be honest, it's like saying, could you hit a wall? You couldn't miss it. You swing. Let's say it's not so much can you hit it, it's like how much style do you do it with, and you do it with a 21 worth of style.
23, Tom, come on.
Apologies, you get a 23. What's the difference between a 21 and a 23? There's a bit more of a flourish on the...
Yeah. More weight into the throw.
You slice into it, and the gelatinous cube goes. It's not happy. It's not. But you've cut a good divot into it. Are you just going to keep swinging and hope to just pass through, or?
Yep.
Roll a second attack again for just style.
That was a natural 1, so that it's still an 18, but.
Oh. I am tempted to go, but a natural 1's a natural 1, but no, I just the piece just nope, that wasn't a start. Well, who's going to see apart from you, me, the cube, whoever's watching online? It's fine. You just do one more as you just to get out the other side.
Dear me, this dice is going in dice jail. That's a 20, non-natural.
Not that. A dirty 20, and you have managed to carve your way through the cube.
It'll be fine. It'll just split into 2 smaller cubes and carry on with its life.
It's 10 foot, there's a little gap, and one almost, as you sort of start heading through the door, the other one's like, do I go through the door? But before I can make that decision, the door is shut. No, it is stuck. Will they get on with each other? I don't think they will. Amazing. Well, you are powering your way through this, P. Yes.
They'll probably compete over who's got the better chairs.
Oh, well. To be honest, it's slightly cruel. Maybe I should give them more stimulus in that room, but they've got very little else to talk about. Ooh, I'm on the side that has the most candles. Well, good for you.
I mean, they unlit all the candles, so,
It's true. It's self-inflicted. If they wanted a nice candle room, they shouldn't have put out all my lovely candles.
Do you go around personally every day and turn on all the candles?
I get a long stick, and I'm like... Well, the problem is, again, because this is randomized, I don't know which rooms you're going to... So maybe there's like, to let you in behind the curtain, like when I know you're about to go into the room, I sort of teleport in and go, teleport out again. And I'm like, ooh, maybe there's a door. I mean, my other associates, they use magic. I just use running around. It's a different system, but it works. It works for us. And the Tempest just monitors. Anyway. Thank you for being so supportive. Yeah, yes, and you're doing excellently. Should we have another mysterious door?
Yes.
Yes.
If I roll another 69, I'm re-rolling it.
Oh, I'm putting you back in the Gelatinous Cube room.
That's a 6. My dice really like the number 6 today, apparently.
Ooh, interesting. So, as you continue down the corridor, the door in front of you now it looks more weathered. It looks like the front door to possibly a hut. Something has been put together with scrap wood, and there's a little metallic bell which says, "Please ring."
I'll ring the bell. Yes, politely.
And they are very polite. And you just hear a voice that says, "Come in." Do you come in?
I'll go in. Yep.
You have entered into a small cottage, lovely thatched roof. And I'm delighted to say this because outside of these wonderful characters of ours, we have a good relationship with them. It's the hag. A hag who is standing behind a cauldron and looks up and is like, hello. Now, tell me, P, who would you consider to be your best friend? Who's the person you care about the most in the world?
Frore.
Frore, perfect. Well, I'm
not
terribly...
Frore.
Yeah, Frore. Francis.
It's Mike's fault for doing this to us, yeah.
Oh, the guy with the hat. Yes, the cursed detective. Because that's what we have here. Roll together, cursed detectives. I'm afraid to say that the second greatest problem solver in the world. He was inflicted with a terrible poison, and he might die. But you, having travelled the lands, have found out this hag has the antidote. But knowing hags, it comes with a terrible cost. You see, says the hag, in exchange, and the way for the magic to work, I will give you the antidote for your most valuable thing, your most prized possession. I don't make the rules, I'm afraid, but what will you give me for this delightful antidote? So the choice is
to save Frore, who's been poisoned,
yes, or
to give you Andy, who's also a living thing. Can I not just lay on hands Frore to get rid of poison?
I'm assuming you tried that, said the hag, and no, it didn't work. I think... And the hag sort of sits down on a stool, which is not a chair, and is like, look, it's crazy. I'm just telling you that I put this together. I'm doing this for you.
I think mechanically all poisons can be cured with lay on hands, so maybe I just did it wrong.
I mean... If you want to try and get there back there, I mean, he's probably dead. Well, actually, that's an interesting point. If he ran...
If he's dead already, what's the point?
Looks up at Andy, and Andy's like, Oh, that's a good point. You can fly. Well, thank you for... how about you just give me a secret?
One of Prosp'rus's secrets?
Yes.
I do have a good secret.
Is it one that you'd want to give away on on a chat show rather than, on a stream?
I'm pretty sure it's come from stream. Maybe if I whisper it to the hag and then everyone else can find out later.
Interesting. You lean in over the cauldron and the hag just puts like a nod hand to it. You're like, ooh, spicy! Well, delightful. And the hag reaches down, fills like a little bottle, and is like, there you go, you take that back to that nice young man. Congratulations, you gave... You didn't give away Andy.
I think Andy would have been quite cross about it in a very American way.
Oh, hey. No, you live with this hag now.
Because I could have given Andy away and then just resummoned him, like, tomorrow.
Well, again, you especially are aware what happens if you screw over hags.
Not Prosp'rus. Prosp'rus never encountered a hag.
Really? In all your time as on this earth, you haven't going. Where have you been going? I suppose you've been dealing with like crazy cults.
I can't be in Emma's campaigns because I'm played by Emma. Therefore.
Yes, P has this interesting thing where P, usually we're like, "Oh, you're controlled." No, P's fully aware that the stress. The fact you also called me Tom, and I'm like, "Yep, that's me." Hello. Yes, you have in fact. Actually, I'll tell you what. Since we're in this kind of zone, talking is a free action. There you go. It's not even that much of a transition. Like everything goes like monochrome. I just step up and sort of just hello, Em. Again, we haven't made much of a difference. Yes, so P hasn't come across hags. That's just. But why do you like hags so much, Em? Why do we constantly come up against them?
They're great enemies. They're like schemy, You can string them out for ages, and when you actually get to them, generally they're not actually good fights. It's better to like use them as build up for something else. But they're just really they're really fun. People instantly have this like, oh no, a hag. I quite like doing good hags. That's fun.
Yeah. That was a nice thing in Flustered where it was just like, how about you don't do it? And the hag was like, okay. Please don't kill me. We're like, new best friend.
Very self-invested. No, it's fun. And they're interested in different things. Like they have different motivations. So you can use them in ways that you can't use other people. Like having a hag suddenly turn around and completely change tack. So it feels right sometimes because you don't know what they're interested in. Whereas sometimes with other enemies, if suddenly they turn around and change tack, you're like, whoa, hang on, what happened there?
I'm a hag. You know what's going to happen here. But again, like in Flustered Ways, like there's different types. We've got different interests. We're just some of us like chaise lounges, and some of us just like hang out in basements. We're complex. Good times. I suppose since we're out of this dungeon, I might as well ask you another question. Where I shall roll, and that is a 34. Okay, that's quite exciting. So this could be you as a player or you as a DM. What's an arc or adventure you'd love to explore in a campaign, but haven't had the chance to do so yet?
I have one coming up, which is we're going to go back and look at old Geordie's backstory a little bit. So that's coming up very soon. I would really like to spend more time with Reek as a player, and Demi and Kriya. Being reunited is something I'm also quite interested in, but requires someone to take on playing Kriya, which is quite a big ask, so we'll see. And obviously Prosp'rus is going to kill Orcus at some point, so that, we'll get there.
So defiant. You're like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Like, because again, it's sort of like going, some people are like, oh, we killed Clemvor. You're like, no, that's not nice. Orcus, on the other hand, very much does need to die. So yeah. That's. I think that campaign's over by the time we get to this. Oh, the conflict. Oh, why can't everyone just be nice? Why can't everyone just get along and go on nice adventures? Yeah, Mithranor, yeah.
Chris told me he was in the castle. I was like, oh no, that's gonna be awkward. And then Chris was like, yeah, there was an episode where they all decided, talked about how much they hated me. I was like, wow, that's great. But all the people who hate me in one room.
It is quite funny where you're just like two different campaigns are like, oh, P. And it's like, what have we got against P? Oh, P always does the good thing. He's nice. Actually, because by that same, with Ava, where Ava's like, oh, you're always telling me what to do, and and it's like, yeah, because you're wrong. P would just be like, no, that's not the right thing to do. Let's not do that.
I actually never told Ava not to do anything, I think. Pretty sure.
I'm imagining like a reality TV thing where it just cuts to like a P talking head. It was like, I never actually told Ava to do anything, but if she hates me, she hates me, but I'm...
My conscience is clear.
When you hear about what happened, you're like, oh, that's too bad. Shepherds? Oh, shepherds.
Well, I'm very intrigued to see what Niall's going to do with Anton, to be fair. Because I think Prosp'rus and Anton meeting again will be quite amusing. So yeah, we'll see.
After all the things Anton's gone through, and then you're just like, hey. Yeah, no, it's this is the thing I love about this combined universe, where you're like, oh yeah, that person.
Well, Anton still believes that Prosp'rus killed him, which is not true. And so that's, yeah.
Anton also believes that Anton didn't try and destroy the world, so...
That yes.
Yeah.
Incorrect, as Chris has stated multiple times.
I also think Niall also believes that, which is always great, where it's like, you did, and you're like, did I? Yes! Okay, yeah. I think that's a good answer to the question of like what is there any so those of your characters, is there any strands as a DM you're like, oh, I kind of would like to go back and tie that off?
Still working on Skitter's stuff. I put in the Zentarum into Waterdeep, so we need to go back and like do something with that at some point. And obviously the BPP OS2 is out in the Feywild somewhere, so that's an interesting...
You just thought the Feywild couldn't get weirder. It's like, here's a weird squid ship.
It was nice to, because it obviously can travel from the astral into other planes, and it was nice to tie in with kind of what Liz had been doing with Mercandraw. So yeah.
I think it was very sweet of you just go, and then you all just got to have a holiday. You all just got to have a nice little break and got to enjoy the spa. Because a lot of these campaigns are like, ooh, what could happen? Was it? It's like, no, you've had a break now. Problem solved. A god was consumed, and now you just get to go and enjoy like the tapas. It's great. Yeah. Good times. But yes, no, excited to see. Finally, find out what old Georgie's backstory. Is it a G? Is it a J? Will that ever be solved?
He set that up in Wonderful and Waterdeep, which is like 2 years ago now, where he's like, Georgie was found in a box. You can do with that what you will, and it just never came up. So now we're going to go back and...
You never asked. No, so yeah, very, very, very exciting. And with those exciting little tidbits, let's go back. So yes, you having given that very scandalous and very exciting secret, which is just between you, the hag, and technically me, but I'm not one to pry. You are in fact given a antidote, and you would be able to save your little detective friend, which would be delightful. He's had such a rum do of the lot, you know. He's had such a hard time. Oh, but anyway, yes,
it's not getting any better. It's only getting worse.
I'm not quite sure. He just comes back in and he's like, I appear to be poisoned. You're like, what did you do? What did you touch? I mean, it's a
probably is what I would say to him, to be fair. What did you touch? Yeah. What have you been doing?
Was it Orcus? Did you touch like Shrine of Orcus and like, oh, I've got the wither. Just to be fair, there's a lot of weird things out there in that wood, you know. What did you put, like a dog? What did you put in your mouth? Spit it out. What did you put in your mouth? Oh dear, I need to go talk to a hag. Anyway,
I have this conversation several times with my dogs. Put it down. Don't eat it.
No. No, that's not for you. Oh, it's paper. Consume it away. Eat it.
I'm a very sleepy dog here. Do you want to see?
Absolutely.
Whoop. Look at the sleepies.
Hello, you are in a sunbeam. That's oh, babies. Anyway, as I said, having solved that issue, P, feel free to roll again. Roll that dice.
D100.
D100.
45.
45. Ah. You exit out of the back of the hut. You're back into the corridor. And now as you're walking, ahead of you...
Is it a straight corridor? Has it been like an entirely straight corridor?
At the moment, yeah.
It's a very long corridor.
It is. Some would say too long. And I would say, hey, I don't come and tell... Also, it's supposed to be a labyrinth, but at the moment it's just a corridor. And as you say that, it just slowly starts curving.
Oh, I insulted the corridor.
The candles flicker, insulted. You're smart. You pick up on things. You're like, hey, maybe I was rude. Don't be rude to the corridor. And now there's steps. As you watch as the door rises up.
But they're still in the same direction. They haven't. It's not like it's not gone off to the left or something.
It suddenly turns into a spiral.
That's still straight. You just go up in straight.
You're at the top now, and there's a slide. Do you go down the slide?
Yeah, of course we go down the slide. It's a slide.
Whee! You go spinning. You go dashing. I did a loop-to-loop there. I don't know how you managed to loop the loop, but you looped that loop, Pete.
I'm quite heavy. I've got a lot of momentum behind me.
You move at great speed as you whoosh down the... It's a bit like... I think they said the origin of roller coasters were like mine carts, and then people were like, we'd quite like to ride the mine carts. And then their miners were like, give us $1. And then people would ride down the hill, and they're like... people like this. We like it, and that's the advantage of being a miner, that we get to go on the mine carts. But yes, so you... After P has finished P's big ride, you're now in front of a door. Is he still a bit like on a Helter Skelter? You like slide to the bottom, and in front of you is a door. This one has... you can see that there's light behind it, sort of flickering lights, and there sounds like there's music playing, sort of good, sort of end of an evening music.
Good. We like some music.
It looks like a tavern door. You walk in. Jolly music. You appear to be you're in a tavern. Everyone seems to be having
ale?
a good... Absolutely. Do you want to go get ale?
Yeah. Or cider. Either's fine.
Ooh, what would you... they have cider. Would you prefer cider?
One mug of each?
You double fist. Which is perfect, because as you turn around, there's a group of dwarves on a little raised podium at a table, and there's a stool, again, a stool, not a chair, available. Why have I made this canon? I need to go get them back from the Gelatinous Cubes. You make a choice and then you're like, this is the joke, this is the runner. Yes, these dwarves are up there, and there is, in fact, a hearty stool left for you. And the dwarves, P, come. Now, we were just telling tales of our exploits, you know. Harazan here was talking about when he dug all the way to the deepest, darkest mine and came out the other side. But I said, no, you know who will have the best story, the most heartening, the most terrifying? Our good friend Prosp'rus. So P, as you sit, putting your 2 mugs down, what tale have you to tell that will excite us, thrill us, and also chill us? And all these dwarves look at you very expectant.
Do you want, like... cold, or like wet, or like black?
Ooh. I would like wet. Oh yeah, no, we know you would. They look apologetic for that one. If you, P, if you could be so kind, if you could give us a wet tale.
We were on a ship. There was a big wall of storm, I think, maybe. It might have been a storm, it might have been a wall of water, I can't remember. And there was a massive sea god inside it. And I threw my sword at the sea god, and then it ate my fly, and then I fell into the water. We did eventually kill the sea god.
Oh, sorry, did you say it ate your fly?
Yes.
As in, your insect?
Yeah.
I got questions. We've all got questions.
Technically, it was Milk's fly, but I was borrowing it.
Right. So, big sea god that you threw a sword at, and then you lost your sword.
No, I didn't lose the sword. The sword comes back.
Oh, like a boomerang. Oh, that's exciting.
More like Thor's hammer.
We don't know who that is, canonically. Although Ford now does exist in our universe. He's out there somewhere, and he's wearing little shorts. That's canon. So, like a hammer, it came back to you. It then consumed a fly, and you fell in the ocean.
Well, I was flying on the fly.
Oh, you see that they perk up at this. Oh, and did you nearly drown?
No, I swam.
Oh, you can't swim. We know you can't swim. That's all your stories, that you can't swim. Would you make me a performance check?
That is a 10.
I want to hear the dark story. And they look at you expectant. You're going to have to double... one for each drink. Let's hear the dark story.
Well, the dark story is less fun. We were in Golden Fields, and Orcus was trying to kill everybody, as Orcus does, and, corrupt the entirety of Golden Fields. And he got some weird people to, burn down sacred trees. It was horrible. So then we killed the trees. I got quite angry. We didn't kill the trees, we killed the people trying to burn the trees. And then the trees were like, oh, it's fine anyway. So we probably didn't need to be quite so angry, but there you go. Very cross. Desecration. And now we have to go kill Orcus.
Well, we dwarves, we do not particularly like trees, but we do like respect for holy places.
You don't like trees? How can you not like trees?
We live underground. There's not that many trees. That's more an elf thing. Not that we've got anything against the elves. It's just trees aren't as cool as rocks. You know, if someone came back, you were going on a date and someone was like, here, have an interesting rock, as opposed to an interesting plant. And all the dwarves nod. If you would rather get a rock or a plant on a date, that's up for you. But I know what P would probably want, but actually, could you make me a second performance check?
Is it not more interesting if you live somewhere that has lots of rocks to get a plant? Does it not have value?
I hear that there has been some sort of documentary about rings where an elf gave a dwarf a tree. And that was very exciting. Yes, we enjoy that story. What did you get for your roll?
18.
I would say the fact that you, opposed to the story, the fact that you got them talking about trees and basically considering their prejudice. They were like, "Oh, I was going through a woods and it was like a nice sycamore," and they're like, "Yeah, sycamores are very pleasant."
I mean, I'm going to put a handful of sunflower seeds on the table. Like, if you fancy growing some, those will bring out very nice flowers.
Oh, my brothers, we haven't even considered flowers. I heard you could bring flowers to a date. What are you talking about? They will wither and they will bloom and die. But, P. Yes, I think, unless you want to tell us the third story.
Oh, no, the third story is not as fun.
Oh, well, okay. Would you like another cider? Would you like another ale?
Do I have to tell you another story if I have another cider or ale?
Do you possibly have a knock-knock joke?
Knock, knock.
Who is there?
I don't know.
I don't know who.
No, I've got one.
Okay, we're starting again.
Cows.
And the dwarves shift in their seats and right, ready.
Knock, knock.
Who is there?
Cows go.
Cows go who?
No, cows go moo.
Ah, cow humor! Ah! And you successfully you've amused these dwarves and you have now got yourself a second round. Do you want to continue with these dwarves, or would you like to move onwards?
I mean, if they're going to keep demanding stories, I will leave eventually.
They might keep asking for knock-knock jokes.
That's it, I'm out of knock-knock jokes. I was trying to think of one that would be relevant to another player character, but I couldn't think of one. So I guess we're honouring the pantomime cow.
Yes. Good sweet Daisy / now King of the Centaurs / canonically a character. Because I make choices. I make wonderful choices like the lack of chairs in this place. And we are moving on. Would you kindly roll that D100?
42, the meaning of life.
Absolutely beautiful. And... oh, crumbs. Here we go. So, you exit out of the back door of this tavern and begin walking down the corridor, which is now zigzagging. And then stops and goes straight again. The corridor feels like it's made its point. And in front of you now, it's not so much a door as there's well, weirdly, we've been talking about trees. There's like an arch with, it's like a bush now. It's sort of like, basically you're going to have to push your way through not some bad brambles, but you're heading through a hedge.
I'll just cut them first.
You slice through the brambles and you're in a wood. And you can see up on a small hill, there's a cabin and there's a single light on in that cabin. Would you like to head towards it?
Why not?
You begin walking, and suddenly, cha-chink! Goodness gracious, you're caught in a bear trap. Your foot is stuck. Yeah, go on.
Then.
Okay, use it. I mean, this is where it points out that you might be hoping for a little puppet man to help you cut your foot off. I wouldn't give you that. I would give you a cannibal who's probably out there somewhere. But yes, by all means, now use your strength to pull yourself out of this bear trap.
I will. I rolled a 27.
I have never fully trapped someone in this trap. Every time I've dealt with it, people have been wearing iron greaves on their legs and they've just opened the bear trap. P, you put your... I don't... You are probably wearing greaves. Are you wearing stuff on your ankles that would stop...
Yeah, I have metal boots.
Your metal boots stop the bear trap.
You
could even have just... It doesn't even vex you. You're just like... and you begin walking again. You go up to the cabin. You look at it. It's like a set. Someone's just put a candle behind. There's not an actual cabin there. But as you walk round the back, there's another door.
Are you just trying to chop people's feet off?
Not necessarily. Just sort of want to see how they deal with their feet getting caught in bear traps. So in conclusion, I wasn't trying to trap people. I was just wanting to see what they do. And the answer is they get out of the bear trap. Not saying that we should retire this room, but maybe it's not quite the intimidating scariness that I was hoping for. There's like a little hatch, like if you were going into a cellar. Do you want to go in?
I'll go in the cellar.
You walk down into the cellar and, quelle surprise, you're back in a corridor.
Oh, okay.
The candles are now burning blue.
Oh, blue candles.
We change things up. Blue candles, it's fun. Well, I think we've got.
Is this so that people don't fall asleep because the blue light keeps them awake?
Absolutely. Sort of, we don't want people falling asleep in my corridors, mostly because you have about 55 minutes in here, and then I'm just like, I have to get a broom. I'm like, get a shoe. Unless you want to be a part of a trap, you want to hang out with the Gelatinous Cube. People do not want to hang out with the Gelatinous Cube. Anyway, if you would kindly roll me that D100.
I shall. 26.
26? Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Here we go. You see the Poppet looks kind of concerned and is like, I've actually made a really big mistake. So, as you're probably aware, the Tempest, my wife, Her brother has come to town, and he will probably want to, see her and talk to me. And he's, really big, and because he's like a thunder god. Basically, if you could go and tell him everything's fine and that she's just, I don't know, on a yoga retreat. He reaches into a pocket, pulls out a hat, puts it on your head. You just feel yourself, whoop, hat of disguise. You now look like this. So if you could go talk to him and make sure that he doesn't come and, I don't know, kick over my train set or anything. Thanks! Just melts back into the wall.
Better going to take the hat off.
You just hear a, oh, from the wall. You walk through and does P like cats?
I don't think P dislikes cats.
How would you feel about 20 cats in a cafe?
I mean, presumably you sit there and pet them. It's very therapeutic.
Welcome to the cat cafe. Across the table is a large man, long red flowing hair, big red beard. He has a hammer. And he's just sitting there and he's like, you're not the person I was waiting for.
No, I have come to tell you though that
yes?
Is your sister a fox?
I mean, she has 9 tails. But
same thing. Is she usually attached to the hand of a random person?
I mean, I don't know what she gets up to at her free time, but no, not usually. Why? What's happened?
You might want to consider going and rescuing her.
Has that ridiculous husband of hers got her trapped in some kind of I'm not happy. And then someone behind the desk is like, can you keep it down? The cat, apologies. It looks down at a very small cat. I did not mean to startle you, tiny cat. The cat does not care, as cats do not. The large entity gets up and is like, I will crush him. I will throw him off the walls. I will. And you just hear it. Talking is a free action. That is not what we agreed.
No, that's not what you asked. I never agreed.
I knew you would be trouble, Prosp'rus.
Look, you shouldn't keep fox people captive on your hand.
Technically, she's a red panda, but the point still stands. I don't want her trapped on my hand. It's a curse.
Would you like me to remove curse?
Would you cast Remove Curse?
Yeah.
Do you cast Remove Curse?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, no. She's on the wrong hand now. That's my good hand. That's the one I write with. Oh, no. I don't even know we got time for a question, but I'm gonna make time. Oh, okay, this is, there's just a simple one. Would you rather step on 10 D4s all at once or 1 D4 every day for 10 days?
All at once.
Get it over and done with.
Get it over with. Also,
I agree.
What's the definition of step on? Because you could put your foot on without putting any weight on.
I think it's a bit like the feeling of with Lego, where you just unexpectedly put your foot.
I feel like the pain from 10 would go away real quick, whereas 1 every day would just be irritating.
And I think the 1 every day it wouldn't be consistent. You wouldn't know when it was coming, but you knew it would. At some point, you'd step on it. But I suppose if you never took boots off, then you're just stepping on a D4. It's not going to go into my fleshy bit.
Crush the D4s.
You have lovely, really expensive, oh, this one's full of glitter. And you're like, well, the glitter's all over the floor now. I think that makes sense. I can't argue with that on that excellent point. Actually, I think we'll just do one more question while we're here, and this is the one that stumped Nat. If all of your characters formed a band, who would play what?
Prosp'rus would play guitar, because Prosp'rus does play guitar. Reek would sing in a really screechy manner. Demi plays the flute, I believe. Do I have any other characters? Trix would stand in the back looking cool, but not engaging.
Just wearing sunglasses.
Oh god, what's my kinky bard called? I played them for Az, who appeared in Mike's one shot, would that occasion just close Reek's beak and take over the singing.
Is Reek good at singing, or is Reek just really confident?
Reek is just really enthusiastic, which we all admire. Someone who can't sing but does it anyway. That's cool. Go for it.
I like that. I like. And do you have a name for this band?
Oh, Az has got too much. Az has got too much self-importance. Not call it Az and the Adventurers or something.
That's quite cute.
Az and the gang.
Az and the gang.
It's maybe a little bit appropriative calling the gang.
I mean, what are they going to do? Come to Faerun? Oh no, they sent a lawyer through the portal. I do like Az and the Adventurers. I like the alliteration. And then it's well, actually, you could just call Az, just a bit simpler. Just
shorten it. Az.
Yeah. And we're back. Well, there's now a Thunder God, which is angry at me, but I've got my left hand back, which is nice. Thank you very much, Prosp'rus. As you can see behind you is one final big door, which will take you out back into... you'll wake up back in your own body. You won't... Is there anything from this you would like to remember? Or it could all just be a weird dream.
I don't know.
I'll leave you one memory, but I'll make it a surprise. so you'll just be like, oh yeah, that happened. Maybe I'll tell you what, I'll help you remember some knock-knock jokes. I think I've established that I'm allowed to give little gifts. I just hand you a book of knock-knock jokes and there you go. Take that back to the material plane. So thank you, audience. Thank you very much for watching Talking as a Free Action. You can find us here every Friday, which is 6 to 7 BST, or we might be back into GMT. Who knows what time is? Not I. I am not a Time Lord, because that is copyrighted. Mondays, Tuesdays, 6 to 9 p.m. We're streaming our D&D games. They're documentaries, really, for us within this plane. You follow the adventures of P. Let's see. By this time, I'm not quite sure. There you go.
Which is the new Shepherd's Adventure. Very exciting.
Shepherds.
We're going to go and see what's happening in Blackwater. Hopefully, no one will be drowning. So that's the goal, really. And I think in the other slot is Sean's show, which I don't know what the name of it is. Might be Ali's show. Don't know. There will be another show.
I think it might be Ali's, but a show will happen, and you will come. And you will get gems, because that's what we really care about. So if you do want to watch this is streamed at twitch.tv/RollTogetherRPG. The VODs are available pretty soon after the stream, so you can catch up on YouTube. Also, we're on podcasts, so if you look up Roll Together RPG. Massive thank you to our D20 on Patreon. If you give us $1 or £1, £1 gold coin, you can come hang out. You can come out, hang out on the Discord anyway. Ask us some questions, enjoy some memes, and a big thank you to both our supporters and our sponsors.
Enjoy some memes. What's a meme?
Memes.
Memes.
Memes. M-E-M-E. Meme.
Oh, memes.
Oh, is that how you say it? Also, you can enjoy some wee me's from 2007. They've got big bulbous heads, and some of them look like celebrities. So, yes, P, as you are about to exit to go back to your real life, you see that these runes above the door, they twist and they translate. They're now back into common, and you can see the great slogan, which is simply, please, stay classy at the table. And you stay classy at the table, P, as you leave. Bye.
David has so much to answer for.